We're going to learn Perek Zayin Mishnah Hey, the last Mishnah in this Perek. This Mishnah has two parts. The first part of the Mishnah speaks about that if you have two separate groups of people that wash and decide to eat a meal in one house separately, can they combine to make one mezumin? So for example, if you have 5 people in wash that are eating in one side of the house, and 5 people that wash that are eating now in the other side of the house, says the Mishnah that as long as some of the people from the first group can see some of the people from the second group, then they can choose to make one mezumin together and say Hashem's name. And the same would apply that if there would be one waiter that was serving the first group and was serving the second group, then even if none of the people from these groups can see each other, since the one waiter is serving and seeing both groups, they can now choose to combine to make one mezumin with Hashem's name. Now says the second part of our Mishnah that if a person takes a cup of wine, it was common in the times of the Mishnayos that before drinking the wine, they would dilute it, they would mix it with water. They would take 1/4 of the cup filled with wine, and they would add another 3/4 with water. So says the Mishnah that if a person takes pure wine, meaning wine that was not diluted with any water, says Rabbi Eliezer, then that is not considered wine, and a person would not make the bracha of Boirei Pri HaGafen. Rather, before drinking it, they would make the bracha of Boirei Pri HaEitz. However, the Chachamim argue, and they say that even if a person is drinking undiluted wine, pure wine without mixing any water, they can still make the bracha of Boirei Pri HaGafen. We are now going to read the Mishnah inside. Says the first part of the Mishnah that Shtei Chaburos, 2 groups, Shayu Oichlois, which were eating, Bevayis Echad in one house, Bizman in a time, Shemikzasan, when some of them, Royin Elu Eselu, can see each other, then Hare Elu Mitztarfin. They are able to combine Lizimun for a Zimun, to make one mezumin together. And the same thing would apply if you had one waiter serving both of these groups. But ve'im lav, and if not, if they can't see each other, then Elu Mizamnin La'atzman. These make a zimun by themselves. Ve'elu Mizamnin La'atzman. And these make a zimun by themselves. Says the second part of the Mishnah that ein mevarchin al hayayin, we do not make the bracha on wine ad sheyitein l'soichai mayim, until someone puts water into it. Divrei Rabbi Eliezer, these are the words of Rabbi Eliezer. However, v'chachamim oimrim, and the chachamim argue and say mevarchin, we do make wine on it even if no water was mixed into it.